Hello everyone, I'm Xandros,
And I'm Faye.
and this is Real to Real, and today we will be looking at the newest movie in the MCU line of movies, Avengers Infinity War. Let's dive into it. Alright, so we saw Avengers earlier today, took a little time to let it sink in, do a few other things, so we could really let it sink in what happened, what we watched, because boy was this a roller coaster of a movie as far as action and suspense and character development changes and wow, the status quo. So that's all it's taken. We're going to be doing spoilers, but we'll start off with the non-spoiler stuff, general discussion, no big details because people need time to see a movie. And this is just a day or so after it's released.
Yeah, so we're still in the middle of a major, blockbuster of the year release.
We're not going to spoil
Yeah.
that early. We'll let you know, tell you where to timestamp and all that good stuff. So don't worry, we will warn you. But general thoughts. Let's start here.
Overall, I thought the movie was pretty good, pretty enjoyable. There was a lot to it. It was a very long movie. What was it, 2 hours, 40 minutes, something like that?
It's over 2.5.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sit. So be prepared for that before you go in there. If you can't sit for long periods of time, this may not be a great movie for you.
Bathroom breaks are your friend prior to movies.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up the stuff here because I didn't have anything to take notes on.
I'm gonna be here for a while. I feel like because I didn't see a lot of the movies going into this, that there were a few plot threads I didn't quite grasp, I guess. I'm not a huge superhero kind of person, that kind of thing. So I'm not, it's not like I go to watch all these movies on the side, So, yeah, I didn't get to see the last Avengers movie either, Civil War. I guess that...
Oh, that was actually Captain America. It's a pseudo Avengers movie, but it's Captain America Civil War.
Oh.
The last Avengers movie was Age of Ultron.
I feel like it was really important to this movie, though. And I didn't
created the split.
Yeah. And I didn't see it, so a little bit was kind of like I'm aware these things happened, but I didn't watch the movie, so it's kind of like, okay, this is where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's my fault. It has nothing to do with the movie, though.
Yeah, there's so many. This is 10 years of movies. And this is like 2 to 3 releases per year on average.
And I haven't seen half of them, so for that reason, I think you're going to have a lot more to say about this than I will. To me, I thought it was an overall really good movie. It was long, but I sat through The Lord of the Rings, so I can sit through just about anything.
As far as I go with this, I thought it was a really good movie. Like she was saying, the issue for a lot of people is going to be coming in with a lot less information because there's so much time. Because this is 10 years of movies.
It's not as bad as a Warcraft movie where you really have to know your lore. I mean, I was able to piece things together as we went along, but I still feel like I should have done a little more remedial watching before I jumped into this one.
It's going to be kind of hard. I don't know if they're available on Amazon for free because we have access to my Prime.
Oh, yeah, I do have that now.
Yeah, but again, I don't know if you'd have to pay for those or not. Disney removes a lot of shit. They're starting their own streaming services. A lot of stuff's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Anymore, which I don't have Netflix anyway.
It's how we lost Doctor Who on Netflix.
Well, because of BritBox. But you can watch them on Amazon. You can watch them on Amazon, the modern stuff and that, so it's okay. Without much of an issue of paying. But yeah, when it comes to this being a culmination, at least the first half of a culmination of 10 years, I thought it was really well done. There are some pacing issues because there are so many pieces on the board to move around and go around. And like our sub-villains, the children of Thanos, they aren't really introduced. They're not named. I don't think they named them once. No, they named the one guy with the power, that was collecting the stone.
Yeah.
From Strange.
Yeah, he did get a name.
Yeah, I don't remember it. They were still effective for villain characters, though. I liked them. I liked their designs. They were still unique, but still connected to Thanos, as far as his aesthetic. The issue, aside from that, was, like, again, so many people, there's some characters kind of got pushed in the background with a lot less information to describe them.
And a couple didn't appear at all.
Yeah, there's certain characters don't show up. We'll talk about that.
Is that spoilers or
no? We'll talk about that in the spoilers section to be fair. So if there's surprises, people expect something, we don't ruin anything.
Oh yeah, because if they didn't appear, then we good point.
So, pacing issues. it was the reason I'm saying there are issues is because scenes hard jump. You're hard jumping between different team ups of different people and different locations, hard and fast.
By the end of the movie, they're split between two
main groups.
Yeah, two main groups and two completely different things are going down.
It goes to 3 to 2 because we
Yeah.
have 3 locations.
Yeah.
It goes down to 2. And again, it's just the byproduct of having so many characters and so many places, getting them together. So it's forgivable.
Oh yeah,
to me.
overall,
This isn't like a huge issue for me. It's just I can see why people would have a problem with saying the pacing's wonky and off. The pacing's quick. It doesn't feel like 2.5 hours.
No, it definitely didn't feel that. You felt it more when you stood up and were like, oh god, I'm old now.
Yeah, I had that problem. I stood up and like everything cracked. Like, oh shit, I was there too long. But I never felt bored. I never felt that it wasn't going at a speed where I was like, okay, let's get this going. Like, it wasn't slow. It was just kind of like, okay, we're doing this like breakneck speed sometimes to something, and that could be a detriment for some people. It wasn't for me because I understood why. They tried to give everyone something in the movie, even if it wasn't much as like the main focus. Everyone had funny lines or something going, or they made some minor callbacks to things. Mm-hmm. So that worked for me. Another. Oh shoot! I was like, did a cat get here again? It's not my pant like moving. Sorry, toes. That's fine. I do that too. I get where I subconsciously move my foot. The acting was good. I really did like that. You actually do care what happens to these characters. But again, 10 years of build up, that does it for you. You know, that does it to you. You're like you're invested in these characters.
It was effective on me, and I didn't.
Yeah, but you're still invested in some of the characters already.
But it still worked for me. I still felt
Strange.
The impact.
Doctor Strange movie. Can't see that one.
No, I've not seen it. I would like to see Doctor Strange because that seems right up my alley.
Dude, it was good. I love Doctor Strange. I did a review of it actually.
I wasn't invited for that.
Well, you hadn't joined the channel at that point.
Huh?
It was before that because I was doing solos. Because I don't mind when movies alone. But yeah, for having all the connections with the past movies, everything kind of tying up into this because they've been hinting Thanos since Avengers 1. And just all these little things, the Tesseract, everything coming back in. They had callbacks I didn't expect in this. One, I'm not going to mention yet, I'll mention the spoilers because it was like, what the fuck, really? It was weird. I liked it. It was just like, it caught me off guard. The tone. 1 minute you're having this kind of plucky comedy going.
Especially with anybody from the Guardians.
Oh, yeah. Involved. But then the hammer drops, as it were, and you have these moments that are super fucking serious for the context of this series. It's serious moments where it's like it's actually dramatic and it's actually traumatic for some people. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more in the spoilers.
I feel like they did a good job with the drama and everything without making it so
melodramatic.
Yeah, melodrama. Because we've seen a lot of that in recent years where everything's just overly,
I've heard some people call this grimdark.
Which I don't think is a fair...
No! This is not a DC movie. I
will say this does have a much darker overtone to it.
Yeah.
But it kind of needs to for what they're tackling.
Yeah. This is done with Thanos. This is the big bad they've been building up, so you had to have that darker aspect to it.
I don't know much about comics, but I do know that Thanos is a big bad. I do know that he's not someone you trifle with.
No. Even though the motivations are different from the comics to this, Thanos is no joke. They take him seriously in the comics. And they take him seriously here.
Does Thanos have something to do with Deadpool? Somebody with Lady Death, doesn't it?
Yeah, with Death, but that's a completely different thing. Nothing to do with this. Though it'd be amazing if they did.
Well, because they don't even go through that. It seems like they're not even going through any of that storyline with the Deadpool movies anyway.
So if you've read the Infinity War comics and the whole reason there, you think you know what's going on, you kind of don't.
I did not.
That's all we'll say.
So I don't.
And I've never read the comics. I know the story, generally. So, no, you're not prepared exactly.
Insert Illidan here.
Yeah.
You are not prepared.
The music was good. Did you notice that when characters were introduced, they actually played a bit of the theme?
No, I did not.
Yeah. If you actually watch when the Guardians kind of show up, yeah, a little bit of the theme. You listen to Doctor Strange. You hadn't seen the movie, but a little bit of the theme going there. When Thor shows up, like there's little hints like that, and that's kind of cool. But the musical score in this was good. When the action scenes kick up, the music's solid. It's got a nice fast beat to it, a lot of bass, and it's a lot of gravitas. The lighter moments, the music's not as intrusive. It's nice in the background, kind of keeping your attention for the comedy and the kind of just positive emotional moments going on there. The cinematography was well done.
Oh yes, very well.
Fight scenes were good. Characterizations felt consistent. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I really liked the special effects they did for, especially Doctor Strange's magic, that kind of thing.
Oh, you've
all
seen
the extra sparks.
No, you've seen nothing. You see that's all Doctor Strange in that movie is reality bending shit.
Like, I think the way
you saw a smidge.
The way they did his magic, I think, impressed me more than the way I'm going to compare this movie to Warcraft again. They did a lot because there's a lot of magic in the Warcraft movie. That was all just glowing eyes, and the sparks that bounced around felt more organic and more like,
yes,
I can believe your magic.
Now you kept the circles that kept doing stuff like that and turning it. Now imagine an entire movie of that, and like things shifting and warping and turning,
I'd watch
and
that.
like you doing that and it activates the magic, and Alcohol is like whips and stuff. It's like, yeah,
it was especially fun watching Doctor Strange in the team ups, combining stuff with
that was all
fun.
The characters. Yeah,
very good.
Having him in this movie was definitely a plus.
Oh yeah,
he was an asset in this, and Cumberbatch did a good job. Everyone did a good job. There was no one I hated spending time with. I like even the minor villains. I liked them.
Yeah.
They were intimidating. They had personality, and you can kind of pick them up a little bit from each character.
The one I think was the weakest showing was the big brute thing. That
That's all he needed to be. He didn't need to be anything more than just a big brute.
Those basically I am
brute.
Joke. Like a Hulk stand-in on the bad guys team. It's kind of
he was like the Hulk on that side.
Yeah, he didn't really say much. Didn't seem to do much, but
except when something happened to him. Then you had the one woman. I'm not gonna remember the names. I'm gonna call the woman with the black jawline. Who I thought was Ebony Maw, but I was wrong. She's the loyalist. She's the loyal general. She's the person that wants the people against her to fall at Thanos' feet. Then Ebony Maw, he's smart, he's tactical, he's poised, but he's a fanatic, and he's a groveling fanatic.
Is he the one that kept going through and was basically acting as an evangelist?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what he was.
He was
okay, I hate you, but I hate you for the right reasons. And then there's the other kind of the slender one. He's kind of the pseudo wild card, the second in command under the one chick. But yeah,
they were a good villain group.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm scratching my foot a lot. This weather's been all over the place. My skin's kind of dried out a little bit. Also, cats are fighting.
My house, yay!
Too many cats.
Thanks.
Too many cooks jokes. Gotta love it.
I'm trying to
timely. I'm trying to think how much else we could talk about without getting the spoiler stuff.
Not a lot.
Let me think. If there's anything else we can add to this. Would you bring kids to this?
Maybe not.
I would, if you have no problem with the language.
Right.
If you have no problem with violence, because this does have some moments where it could be disturbing to kids, to younger kids. So,
I wouldn't
cautious.
bring younger kids, but I would probably bring 10-year-olds and up are probably fine. 7, 8 probably okay. Below that, I don't think so.
Yeah, this is definitely a family movie in that you go as a family. You as the adult, bring your kids. Like, I didn't bring my kids.
I think some parental discretion is definitely advised.
Yeah, and this one I would, even though it is a comic book movie, and this isn't that it's grim dark, it's that the tone is...
There's some heavy stuff that does happen, especially near the end, that kids may not
be able to deal with. Even the beginning, though. That beginning.
Actually, yeah, the beginning does have some...
Okay, think Secret of NIMH, American Tail, all those, the old Don Bluth stuff back in the day that traumatized us kids in the 80s and, early 90s and stuff. Like Bigfoot's mom dying, seeing her get a big chunk torn out of her back in the shadows during a fight.
Well, you see
Charlie Barkin getting run over by a car.
You see some stuff up close that
you
might not want a small child to see.
Yeah, or like Secret of NIMH. You've seen Secret of NIMH before, right?
No.
There's one of the main characters gets fucking crushed under a brick. Like, you see the brick impact. You see limbs
Ow.
Like, those are kids' movies. Yeah, they were just more mature for what they were. They weren't talking down to kids.
Right.
And this doesn't talk down to kids.
No.
So this isn't a kid movie aimed at kids. This is a movie that's aimed at families and adults. But is accessible to kids.
Yeah. Which I think might be where some of the problem could lie. Because I know a lot of kids are enticed to it because it does,
Yeah, this is not like Spider-Man.
No.
This isn't like Guardians. This is more Guardians of the Galaxy where it has a little more risque in the humor sometimes and the language.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking it's going to be like Spider-Man or something like that, no. No, that's not that.
No, definitely bring the same audience you'd bring to Guardians. I wouldn't bring the same audience you'd bring to Spider-Man.
Yeah, so if you're bringing kids,
This
you might need to consult.
Yeah. Yeah, you might need to have a talk at the end of the movie with these kids.
This is that Empire Strikes Back moment.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
That's a very good, apt comparison. Yes.
Yeah, this is very much like that dark point in a series. We've had these kind of dark points at different parts throughout the 10 years.
Yeah, of the Avengers movies, this is definitely the
that we've seen. I can't say anything to Ultron. I've not heard a lot of great things about Ultron, to be fair. But I've still not seen it. So
yeah, and I guess I don't.
Grain of salt on that claim, just from our experience.
I'm not a good basis to go off of.
I'm mostly a good basis on that because I've seen all but 3 of the movies in the series. So, I want to avoid spoilers as much as possible because I know people.
It's hard though
because we'll be here a long time.
There's a lot of stuff that's very specific.
Yeah, we're generalizing as much as we can here, folks. Dialogue was good. Yeah, it didn't feel too cheesy.
No, it was well written.
I liked the quips. I liked the dramatic moments, the more heartfelt, dark moments. Characters didn't feel wasted. They had a purpose most of the time. Even if it was a minor purpose, they had a purpose when they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I feel a few of them were a bit...
Stanley cameo was there.
Pretty good.
It's a nice quick one.
Yeah.
It's not the best I've ever seen.
He does get a good one-liner.
It was an adorable one.
He gets a good one-liner in. I appreciated it.
Yeah. That at the end of just general talk.
So overall, to end the spoiler-free section
for now, we'll come back to the scoring.
I still say, if you're getting off the ship now, and you're not going to go into spoiler territory with us. Then the takeaway I want, what I'd like to leave you with is this is definitely a good movie.
Well, there's going to be a wrap up later.
Definitely go and see it. So.
Yeah. We're going to say go see it. We'll give you our final thoughts here in a bit. If you want to see our final thoughts, timestamp right here. Go to enjoy our score and our final thoughts and wrapping up, and hopefully we won't drag that out too long like we did once in a while. But we're getting ready to go into spoiler territory, folks. If you really do not want to know anything more about Infinity War, if you don't want to know any details about potential things that happen that will affect the hearing going forward, I don't want to go beyond that because there's a lot of people that have speculations. I saw no speculation that made sense. That's like people speculated. It's like this is gonna happen. Like, no, you were wrong.
I will say this is a very
you don't know what you're getting into.
Spoilerable movie though.
Yeah, but if you think you know what's gonna happen going into this, you don't know what's gonna happen going into this. You don't. I was surprised by several things about what happened, about certain events that happened. I was definitely surprised.
I went in blind, so everything was a surprise to me.
I went in as blind as I can consider I've never really read Infinity Wars, like the miniseries they did. So, yeah, if you think you know what's going to happen, you don't.
If I went in anywhere blind, I'd have to have been blindfolded.
Alright, so, spoiler territory, last warning. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so I'm assuming...
If you're still here, you don't mind us spoiling the crap out of this movie.
Yeah, so assuming this takes place directly after Ragnarok, because this does deal with an Asgardian ship in the beginning. So I don't know. I've not seen Ragnarok yet. Even though I own it, I've not watched it yet. I'm assuming this takes place right after that because they're on a ship, and it's some of what's left of Asgard after it was destroyed.
They did mention it was destroyed, and
these were refugees.
And Thor's missing an eyeball, which I didn't recall having happened yet.
Yeah, this is in Ragnarok, so
yeah,
so we have Thor and Loki on the ship, and basically this is a distress signal. It's like, hey, we're not combatants, we're not an enemy ship, we're not an attacking ship, we're children and women and refugees,
I believe they say we have very little, or we have very few troops, or something like that.
Something like that. But basically, you go inside the ship, and they're bodies. There are bodies. And you have Ebony Maw going around proselytizing about the greatness of Thanos. You should feel proud to be giving yourselves to Thanos' greatness.
He let the bodies hit the floor.
Boy, how. And you go around and you see, like, them fucking stabbing people, you know, like, killing them. And these are, like, I don't know if they actually showed children. I'm assuming they did, maybe in the background shots a little bit, but...
I don't know, I don't recall seeing it.
But they said there were women and children on there, so you can assume children are being killed here.
Well, they blow up the ship, so if there were children on it, they said there were children on it.
But before they blow up the ship, we have Thanos wanting the Tesseract, and he's got Thor beat the shit and have him by his head, and Loki's there. It's like, hey, you know, I'd like to have that Tesseract, and you know, Thor's like, it was destroyed, it doesn't exist, and Loki's like, it's not true, here it is, and basically, you know, he's like talking like, you know, the thing is with the Tesseract, and it's like, you know, we have a Hulk. And then here comes Hulk, and him and Thanos get into it like a straight-on fist fight.
Yeah, you do get to see Hulk go
toe-to-toe with Thanos right at the beginning.
Mm.
And everyone's like, you know, holding back the other one of the generals, like, no, let him have his fun. So after a moment, Thanos starts kicking ass back and just completely overpowers Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And he's down. Hulk's down for the count.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. Basically,
Loki's...
at
this point, has Hulk been beaten in a one-on-one fight like that before?
Again, I'm not seeing Ragnarok, so I don't know for sure on that aspect, because there is a one-on-one fight between Thor and him. But, like, he's never been trounced like this.
Right.
You know. Like, him and Thor fought in Avengers 1 a little bit. Like, with this, like, never this soundly.
I don't think he's ever been, like, fist fought down.
Yeah.
Unless something happens.
Fist to fist, front of the ground, like, it's like Brock Lesnar beating up the fuck out of Roman Reigns. Wrestling current thing. You know who Brock Lesnar is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how dominant he used to be.
Looks like somebody shaved a gorilla and put him into the ring.
Yeah, it's kind of
the same personality, too.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. It's just gotten more, like, intense. Like, he'll bloody opponents in the ring the hard way. No, like, he will legit split people open in the ring. He's done this. And this is, like, he busted Randy Orton open with
Wasn't
forearm
that why they got
shots.
rid of him the first time?
No, he chose to leave. He was going to do the football thing. Off topic, sorry. But no. So, Loki goes, I got the Tesseract. He's like, you know, I'm going to give it to you, you know. And he's got a knife forming behind his back here. And Thor's kind of just been wrapped up by Thanos. Because Thanos has one of the stones at this point. He has the purple stone, for which one that is power, I believe, or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't have the color specified out, so forgive me if I confuse the
I
stones.
think he does start with the purple one, though.
Yeah, he did. That's for sure. There was one that Roland had in the first Guardians movie.
Huh.
Was it Rowan, something like that? Rowan the Destroyer, I think is his name, or something like that. Rowan the Conqueror. I don't remember. But he's already got that in the glove. And, or in the gauntlet. And Loki's sweet talking him and everything. You know, trying to form the knife. Thor sees it. And he goes for the shot. Thanos stops him just short of his throat. You know, has the knife. You know, basically grabs him by his throat. With the gauntlet hand. Holding him up. And saying, you know, like, you'll never win. Basically, Loki's like, you'll never win, or anything like something like that. Thanos says something, and then crushes his throat and neck. You're seeing him like choking for air already, and there's no fanfare. It's just you kind of feel it and hear it, and then he goes limp, and it's just staring. Loki's fucking dead. Not he's dead. He's gonna come back. No, he's dead. Corpse laid out in front of Thor. Dead. And then Thanos blows up the ship and leaves. And Thor's still on the ship when it happens.
Yeah, you're kind of watching his eyes as his neck is breaking too. So
No. It's not even just as it's breaking, but as he's just being choked, and then it's just like it's like nothing.
Face red,
quick little squeeze.
Face reddening, eyes bulging, and
then blue.
It's pretty graphic, actually.
Oh yeah, that caught me off guard. I mean, one that they killed Loki right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the way they did it, like they didn't cut away. Like they would have, I could have expected like do the thing and then like do the like offhand, like you hear the crunching, and you maybe see the legs twitch and then go limp. They show it happen. Wow.
Yeah, you get the legs going limp after the neck is broken.
you see the limp legs afterwards. You see the moment of death in his eyes. You see the crush. You see the reaction of the head a little bit too. Woo, that was rough. And like I said to Faye on the way out, it's like later on, it's like I heard the sound of millions of fangirls screaming, and then go silent. And then we kind of go from there. But before that happened, Heimdall, who was the bridge guard from the first Thor movie, sent Hulk back to Earth because they knew where the stones were coming next. So, Rainbow Road comes up and launches Hulk back to Earth. They kill Heimdall, too. Right before they kill Loki, they kill Heimdall. So, Idris Elba, out, gone, stabbed. The Tesseract crushed in Thanos' hands, blown away like dust, and whatever remains is picked out. There's the stone, put in. 2 stones down already, beginning of the movie. So right now we're at 2 body count, not counting all the people that are killed. But as far as known named characters, Loki
everybody else
and
has
Heimdall are
guardians.
gone.
I mean, they're just,
Yeah, but I'm saying they're not named characters.
That's true.
So 2 characters gone, beginning of the movie, and Thor assumed to death. We get back to Earth. Hulk crashes into the sanctum, the sanctuary where Strange and I can't fucking remember his name. Was Wong? It was Wong. Wang listening. Sorry, it was a WNG name. There's just the wrong vowel. But Wong, and they're having to talk about a sandwich and money. It has like rupees or some shit.
How much is that? Like
$1 something. They're talking about all of a sudden Hulk crashes through and you see Hulk turning back into Banner at this point. It's already just like shrinking and graying to white skin. It's just Thanos is coming. Like he's scared shitless. And so we catch up with Stark and his wife, Miss Potts, who is now Mrs. Stark. And Strange shows up and says, "Hey, you're kind of needed. The universe is at stake." They explain the situation. Tony and Strange have a pissing contest because Stark's being a dick.
Oh crap!
What?
And discussion for down the road.
Okay, but yeah, Stark's being kind of a dick, and mostly because it's Thanos, and he knows who Thanos is because of the events of Avengers 1 and other stuff. Because it's kind of been messing with his mind for years, and fuckers coming. So it's messing with Stark a bit. So it's kind of understandable why he's being a dick, but he's still being a dick. And this is after the Civil War thing, too. So he's like, Banner's like, well, where's Cap? We need Cap in this. He's, well, we're not in speaking terms, because this is all, he's been gone throughout the entire thing of Civil War. So he doesn't know about the Avengers splitting up and everything.
To be fair, I didn't know I knew it happened, I just didn't watch the movie,
Yeah.
so it's kind of...
So, you got no flip phone coming up. He's going to call
Steve?
Yeah, Steve Rogers. And all of a sudden, it's like, you see air moving. It's like, Strange's hair moving. He goes, "Are you moving your hair right now?" "Not at the moment." And they start seeing people running around outside and screaming. So they go outside. And there's this big fucking, donut wheel ship thing.
Someone took the halos from Halo and shrunk them down.
Yeah.
And put bad guys inside.
And put
I
them,
guess
and
there's
put
always
them on
bad
like
guys in Halo.
put them like hamster wheel holders. And you see
This is how Thanos keeps Jack and just runs outside of the donut ship.
and you see Ebony Maw and the big Hulk guy out there and preaching Thanos like, "You're the stone holder," and starts being a smartass. And he's like, "Does he speak for all of you people, stone holders?" He's like, "No, he doesn't. I speak for myself." And basically just starts powering up his magic. Banner's trying to Hulk out, but Hulk's refusing to come out. Hulk, he cannot Hulk out. He's tried. Can't get it.
He's trying really hard.
Basically, we have a flaccid dick joke. Kind of. It's what it is. He can't get it up. It's a weird innuendo thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So they get him out of the fight, and it's down to Strange, Wong, and Iron Man fighting these guys. And Ebony Maw is a telepath. he's a telekinetic. He's basically moving shit around his mind and launching it and manipulating things. It's a pretty fun fight. In the end, they catch Strange. Spider-Man shows up partway through. This is after we get our Stan Lee cameo. We'll talk about that later on, the Stan Lee cameo. But, yep, Spider-Man shows up, so he's joining the fight, trying to help save Strange from being taken away. He's being chased after by Ebony Maw while the Cape's trying to save Strange. So they're trying this weird, like, chain chase. He ends up getting Strange, and
Alright, so
Spider-Man gets caught in this beam, too, that beams him up. Iron Man manages to kind of stop the big Hulk guy with help from Wong, who sends him back to the Antarctic or some shit. And Iron Man goes up to try to save Spider-Man, who's hanging on the outside, and this thing's going up and up, and he can't breathe. So he launches the Iron Spider suit and engulfs them. And it's like, hey, okay, well, activate parachute, sending you back. Because of course he does that shit. And it doesn't necessarily work because we see that Spider-Man's hung on. So now we got Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man off Earth on the spaceship flying towards Thanos' home.
Titan. Not the moon. Planet Titan.
Meanwhile, we have Bruce Banner still on Earth making a phone call to a certain Rogers.
Unless it's supposed to be the moon.
Nope. And Wong's out of the picture at that point. Wong's gone the rest of the film.
Titan's one of the moons of Jupiter, right?
Yes, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to remember if it's Saturn or one of Jupiter's moons. So I want to say Jupiter.
It's one of Jupiter.
Okay.
So now we've got our first group right there. And they've called Rogers. Next we go to the Guardians. They're kind of flying around. They find the debris of Hulk's ship after hearing the distress signal. And you have your quipping banter and stuff and good comedy. I'm not going to ruin all the jokes or anything for this.
I like that it's Hulk's ship now, not Thor's. He survived. It's his ship. By right of succession, this debris is yours.
But they show up, and it's decimated. You got bodies floating around. All of a sudden, Thor smacks into their windshield, and his eye opens, and they bring him inside. And after checking his emotions, that revive him. And it's like, what happened? He tells him it was Thanos. Thor and Star-Lord have a pissing contest for different reasons. And he ends up saying, I forget where he was wanting to take him, but basically to the forges of the dwarves. You know, Thor's wanting to go there to get a weapon to fight Thanos. Rocket's all about this shit. Meanwhile, Star-Lord's like, no, we gotta go to nowhere, because that's where one of the stones is. And that's where Thanos is going to head. It's like, okay, well, how about this? You go there, we'll go here, says Rocket. You know, so there we go. So we have another split right there. The Guardians, Mantis, Drax, Gamora, and Star-Lord are going to nowhere, while Rocket, Groot, and Thor go to the dwarves. So we have another split up. We have 4 groups now. Well, almost 4. We're getting to that other group. And so they split off. They get to nowhere eventually. We're going to skip ahead to get to the nowhere part. We go to nowhere, and we encounter Thanos kind of beating up the Collector. You know, he's got him on the ground, pinned by his foot, and it's like, you know what you have. Where is it? Where's the reality stone? I didn't know what I had. I solved it. So they're trying to do the sneak up thing. Drax is being a dumbass. And he goes to charge up and gets turned into blocks. Mantis gets cut and gets turned into string. Like a string ribbon version of herself. Gamora managed to sneak up before it went that far into shit. And they thought, she thought she had killed Thanos, like sliced his throat, like stabbed him in the throat, and then stabbed him in the side net with this little mini blade. And he collapses and falls over dead. And the Collector's like clapping and shit. Everything starts changing, the Thanos fades, and here comes the real Thanos. It was an illusion, thanks to the reality stone he's already got. He did this as a trap for Gamora. Before it got to this point, Gamora had made Star-Lord promise on his mother that if it came down to it, he would kill her because she had something, she knew information that she didn't want to give to Thanos. And to protect everyone, he would have to kill her. He agreed to it. I got down to the moment. He's got her, and Star-Lord's come out, guns out to Thanos. So Thanos' like, okay. What are you gonna do with that? He's already like turning people to shit right in front of him with the reality stone, warping shit.
I was a little surprised at that point that he didn't just do something to Star-Lord. Just like,
Yeah, I was surprised, but this is Thanos. He's kind of
yeah,
a little too into himself a bit.
it's like, oh look, the bug, and now he's a pilot ants.
Yeah, that'd been funny. So Gore's like, you promised. And he's aiming the gun at her now instead of Thanos. Thanos' like, oh, okay, go ahead. No, really, go ahead. He even shoves her up to the gun. And finally, we have the I love yous. Trigger pull. And bubbles come out of the gun. And then the gun is kind of just gone. Thanos' like, I like him. And then disappears. So now Gamora's been separated. Now our team's down to Star-Lord, Mantis, and Drax.
Because they come back as soon as he leaves. So I guess
Yeah, they go back
the
to normal.
effects of the reality stone are.
He didn't kill him. He just fucked with their reality a bit. I thought they were dead.
I expected them to be completely dead too, but that's what I'm saying. The effects of the reality stone are apparently proximity limited,
Maybe, or
something.
just a matter of will.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe he didn't really want to kill them. Maybe he was just
toying.
screwing. Yeah,
He seems to do that.
yeah. He's a very interesting villain because he.
Yep. So let's go back to Earth now.
Okay.
We meet up with Vision and Scarlet Witch.
I feel like this was
And
the
Scotland.
weakest part of the story. And was
that little
Vision.
moment?
I think all the stuff with Vision and
Well,
Scarlet Witch.
Vision's connections with the second Avengers movie. That's where
Yeah.
So we're missing stuff.
I
And you're missing Civil War stuff too.
Yeah,
So it's not as weak.
for me, I didn't feel that much gravitas there, but it could be just because that's all areas and stuff I haven't seen.
Yeah, you have a big blank there. I have a partial blank to it. So, but basically, they've been hiding out in Scotland. Vision and Scarlet Witch have, containing their relationship of android man, synthetic human, and chick who is too powerful. So they're going out. He's like, I need to go. Help out. There's stuff going on. They see a news report. They see this news report, and Scarlet Witch is like, you can't go if this is true. If it starts missing and things gone this bad, you can't go. He's like, look, I got to. While he's saying this, he gets stabbed from behind and loses his illusion. I was fucking shocked for a minute. Scarlet Witch gets blasted away by Leader Chick, and they get into a fight. And they try to take the stone then and there, try to peel it out from his skull.
Yeah.
And, and then we have that nice little fun fight going there. Scarlet Witch trying to save Vision. Vision's hurt. And it's a fun fight. These are fun encounters.
Mm-hmm.
And they're about to get they've gotten their asses handed to them at this point. They're at the mercy of the bad guys. And they kind of stop because they sense something. Train's going by because this is in Scotland, so we're in the underground. And the train's gone. And we see a shadow, an outline of a man standing there. They throw a spear at him. He fucking catches it one-handed. And it's Captain America. And then here comes Black Widow and Falcon. So we have another team up here. They start kicking ass. One of the bad guys is wounded, gets stabbed by Black Widow through the gut with one of their own blades. And they run off after, kind of getting bested a bit. So now we've got Vision there damaged. Scarlet Witch is trying to heal him up with their powers as best as possible. We don't know what to do. Where are we going to go? Cap's like, home. Going back to the Avengers base. So now we have another team. Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Black Widow, and Falcon. We cut over to the base there, and we have Don Cheadle's character, if he has character name for some reason, but War Machine. I'm bad at remembering certain characters right now. I remember his superhero name, War Machine.
I remember the actor.
But War Machine is talking with asshole from the Incredible Hulk movie. The general guy is now in charge, took over, I guess, for
You can't call him Secretary, so I'm assuming Secretary of State?
something like that. Yeah,
Or Secretary of Defense?
yeah, I think it's defense. But he was an asshole father character and general character from the Incredible Hulk movie. So he took over after things went to shit in Winter Soldier with.
I have to admit, even knowing that it was a hologram, I'd still just to make a show of it, stab the hologram just to make my point. You're an asshole. I know
That's
this isn't going to hurt you, but you know what?
Yeah, but that's not War Machine's thing. So they're having a debate about everything. It's like, look, these guys are, are criminals. You got to find them. So they walk in, still in the middle of the meeting. Here's Captain America's like, so you showed up. You think this is, the world's danger? You show up and it's going to all be forgiven? It's not about being forgiven. It's not about orders. It's not basically what's doing what's right. Because it's Captain fucking America. And so he tells War Machine to arrest him. He's like, sure thing, sir. Get right on it. And then shuts down the hologram and the message on him. It's like, well, that's a court martial. So they're trying to discuss what's going on, and then here comes Bruce Banner. They're talking. They're trying to find a way to save. They want to save Vision. Vision's willing to give himself up to get the stone out, but if they get the stone out, it could completely shut down and destroy Vision. He's like, there might be a way for us to fix this. I don't, but it'd take a lot of time.
Admittedly, Vision's plan is to destroy the stone.
Yeah,
and him along with it.
Yeah, he says, and Scarlet Witch is the one who can do it. Her powers can destroy it. She doesn't want to do it because they're in love, and she's not willing to sacrifice. And Cap's like, we don't sacrifice people.
We don't trade lives, I think.
We don't trade lives. And so they're like, okay, so what we're going to do is, like, I know a place we can go. And so now they're off to Wakanda. And our team has increased from 5 plus 2. Bruce Banner and War Machine have now joined the other 5. So let's jump back to Thor, Rocket, and Groot, who've arrived at the system, which I don't remember the name. I'm sure it has something to do with Norse mythology.
Vormir, I believe. Vormir.
Something like that. And to the dwarves. It's dark. It's good. They don't know why. This is supposed to be a forge. They're using a sun as the energy to power the forge. Molten everything. It's gone dark. Go inside. It's pretty empty and desolated.
They said it was a dying star, so I'm assuming. Oh, it didn't seem like a red giant. Well, yeah, I assume it's going to collapse into a black hole since it's super compressed and a lot smaller than you'd expect a star to be.
Maybe. I don't know.
I expected something like that to be like blue or white or I don't know.
At any rate,
one of the dwarf stars at least.
But at any rate, so there's no dwarves, and then all of a sudden they get attacked from behind by this big giant motherfucker. I'm like, the fuck is this? No one Thanos people? And they're like, and then Thor's like, no, wait, it's me. They go, Thor? And it's one of the dwarves. Apparently the dwarves are giants in this, which is weird. And not only that,
I love your reaction to this.
My first reaction, I'm looking at this character, I'm looking at this, I'm like, this giant dwarf character, and I'm like, wait, is that Peter Dinklage? Like, they made Peter Dinklage a giant dwarf?
He did.
I'm like, I had no other second. She's just like laughing at me a little bit. I'm like, he's Peter Dinklage, right?
He's losing his shit.
I'm like, that was one of the greatest things the entire movie.
Beside me, he's losing his shit over giant Peter Dinklage.
It's like, he's a dwarf who's giant, but he's actually a dwarf in real life. So it's a dwarf playing a giant dwarf. And I'm like, my mind can't handle this shit. But it was one of the greatest castings in this movie. Although, I love Peter Dinklage. I think he's a fun actor. I think he's a fun person. He's got a great personality as far as, like, he can take a joke. I mean, I've watched the Space Pants SNL sketch. I've watched just how he interacts with people. So I'm okay with Peter Dinklage. This was great casting. But he's the last of the dwarves. Because Thanos had showed up before they got there for them to make the gauntlet. So now we know how the gauntlet came to be, the Infinity Gauntlet.
Now, apparently the dwarves made it for him.
Yep. Yeah.
The dwarf in
question, Dinklage's dwarf, did it because he was starting to kill everybody. He's like, no, I'll make it, but don't kill us.
Yeah, I'll make you a glove capable of handling the power of the Infinity Stones. Leave us be.
Yeah, so he makes it. Thanos kills them all anyways except him. He says, your life is yours, but your hands are mine, and destroys his hands where he cannot any longer forge things.
Were they encased in some kind of metal or something?
I don't know how he did it, to be honest.
Because I could have swore I kept hearing like a clinking.
Yeah, they might have done something like that.
But the lighting, since the forge wasn't working, it was dark.
Yeah,
a little hard to see this section.
Yeah, I think it'll be better once it comes to home release.
Could be. It could be the theater we were in because not exactly the best theater in the world.
No,
either.
But we got it without any problems. Didn't have to pre-order tickets or shit.
It's true. Yep. The nice thing about crappy theaters is that they're never full.
Yep, it wasn't even a full theater, but it was pretty packed for what it was. So they're like, hey, okay, we have a weapon here we could use. Yeah, convince them to help make something else. It's like we have one thing left, and it's Stormbreaker. So they got the mold. They have to mold everything, get it in the mold and everything, but they have to get the star power back up. It's like, everything's kind of frozen over. So Thor's like, I got an idea. We have this little escape pod ship. Let's go out there, and me and you, Rabbit, because he kept calling him a rabbit, calling Rocket a rabbit, which was fun, to go restart it. Rocket's like, okay, I don't know how the hell this is going to work, but sure, why not? Oh, and between them getting there and the last time we'd seen them, on their way there, Rocket gives him an eye he stole. So now Thor's got 2 eyes again.
Yeah, it's still great. I would have watched it first. He just pops the eye in his head.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it works, but it's weird.
I also like angsty teenage group.
Yeah, that was fun. Playing a little fucking handheld game. Like a handheld football game. But anyway, so they go out there and Rocket's like, I don't know how we're going to do this. Thor starts whipping him around in space, whipping this fucking ship, and then chucks it forward, grabbing onto the end still, dragging himself along to plant his feet in this middle part, and like telling Rocket to punch the thrusters as far as they can. And they end up causing the thing to turn, which breaks off the ice, which restarts everything, powers up the sun again.
You basically flung the pod with Rocket in it like it was Mjolnir.
I was thinking more like a fucking Morning Star.
Discus or
no, like a Morning Star. Nice. Oh, hammer throw. Like
hammer throw. Yeah,
that's it. It's like a hammer throw.
Because I know he does the same. Because I know when he flies, he takes Mjolnir, spins her up, and then
yeah. Though there's no Mjolnir anymore, it's destroyed
in
the last movie by Hell. That was in the trailer, so that's not much of a spoiler. So yeah, they got it restarted. They start doing the molding process. Well, the thing that focuses the sun's energy for the process in the furnace area that
like
the
a
forge
focusing arms or something.
It was like focusing things, and it broke. So like we have to get back open. Thor's like, how long do you need it open for? I can do it. So he goes out there, grabs these things, pulls them down, takes direct sunlight, energy through his body.
It seemed like a plasma beam.
Yeah, kind of like that. While this whole thing melts down the stuff, all the different ingots to make the fucking
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, to make Stormbreaker. To make the mold for the actual axe parts. Because this is an axe. And it worked. They actually get it to work, and then Thor kind of passes out from the pain. He's pretty damaged and burnt to shit pretty bad. Falls into it, into the forge. Rocket tries to catch him. It doesn't really work, but he ends up inside. He's dying. It's like, we need to finish the weapon. He needs Stormbreaker to heal him up. And it's like, where's the handle? They can't find the handle. Groot is stressing out, seeing Thor there dying, because, someone else that speaks Groot, was treating him like another person.
Actually, yeah.
And, because speaking Groot's an elective in Asgard, apparently.
I forgot about that line.
That was weird. I liked it.
You speak Groot.
It was an elective.
It's an elective.
It was an elective. So he's like freaking out. They're trying to find this. They'll have so long. So Groot grows out his hands, grab his left hand, grabbing the parts of Stormbreaker, pull together, making a handle, chops his arm off, and then it starts rattling everything before Thor grabs it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we're just jumping around here trying to keep the teams up. So back to the ship, because we're skipping back and forth on these, skipping forward events and then back into events. So on the ship, we've got Iron Man trying to figure out how to save Strange from Ebony Maw, who's got him strung up in all these little sharp sci-fi scalpels, like a fucking 100 or so of them all around his body, piercing into it. It's like, give me the time stone. Come on, give it to me. I'll kill you. Just give it to me. It'll be easier. And they're trying to figure out what the hell to do. So he's trying to discuss what to do with Strange's cape.
What does it do with Strange's cape? Is it a separate entity?
Yes, it has its own mind as
and
will.
Okay.
It has its own will.
That makes sense.
Yes, it was a fun part of his movie. And so we find out, and now Stark finds out that Spider-Man's still on the ship, and it's like, I sent you away. It's like, what the? Well, I mean, I know you tried to, but it was kind of a weird reflex thing, and it tried to stop me, and it wasn't my fault. Hey, it's your fault. It's like, forget what I said. Anyway, I'm here. What are we going to do? So they try to come up with a plan, and they mention Aliens, the movie.
Still love the line. You're not back up. You're a stowaway.
Yeah, you're back with your stuff. So they come up with a plan to save Strange. And it's like basically Iron Man goes down, there's a distraction, kind of looking at him. And he goes, yeah, you're right, you have more power. But the thing is, the kids see more movies. Blasts the wall of the ship, sucking Ebony Maw out, killing him.
Into space.
Into space, to freeze to death. And then basically Strange gets sucked out. The Cape tries to save him. Spider-Man has to come in, web him up, and does his best to save him, and actually manages to pull him back in from out in space.
Using really cool spider leggy things.
Yeah, the Iron Spider's legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Iron Spider suit. That's always been something with the Iron Spider's suit.
I've never seen it before. So
It's been in the comics and TV shows and stuff. They actually showed it in Homecoming a little bit, but you didn't get to see it actually.
It seemed to surprise...
Peter had no idea.
Yeah, that legs came out.
Yeah, he didn't have any
And
idea.
the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, you're part Doc Ock now. Congratulations! That's not supposed to
It
happen.
doesn't exist in this one yet, but no, the spider legs is out of question for Peter in the stories. So this isn't new.
They used him very well in this movie.
Yeah, they did. They kind of have a mind of their own a little bit. The reactionary.
Oh, yeah, he did say the reactionary.
Kind of. So they save Strange, and they're trying to figure out the things on autopilot. Do we turn around, go back to Earth? What do we do? Stark talks him into, no, just go to Titan. We'll go there. We're going to take it to him. He wouldn't expect it. So here we are. Strange, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Strange's cape are now heading towards Titan.
Does Strange's cape have a name?
I forget the name of the cape.
Right.
Like, it does have a title.
Because I feel like if it has intelligence, it should have its own name.
It does have a name, but I can't quite remember. It was like a title name, like the blank cape of blank.
Okay.
Of a person or whatever, I forget. So they end up crash landing on Titan because they couldn't stop it, couldn't control it. And after they show up and crash land, we have the Guardians show up. And both teams of three get into a fight together. It's kind of fun. And then they kind of have this weird mix and standoff where each one, like Iron Man's got Drax down the ground with a fucking gun to his face. Star-Lord's got Spider-Man with a gun to his head. Strange is like this, and Mantis is standing over doing what Mantis does. It's like, where's Gamora? Gamora. Okay, who's Gamora? I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? Fucking Drax. Drax is why Gamora.
I love Drax.
I love Drax.
Like, in every movie.
Batista, I'm glad you're not wrestling anymore. You're doing better as Drax in the movies. Keep that up. Just be Drax forever.
Keep being Drax.
Do more comedies.
Yeah.
Do more comedies.
He's good at it.
Don't be John Cena in comedies, though, please.
No.
God.
Just as a general rule for people, just don't be John Cena.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, Drax is always a highlight whenever he's in the movie. I like this whole standing still thing. We're not going to run that joke, but there's a thing about standing still. That's good. Still good chuckles out of that.
Hi, Drax. Damn it.
So basically, they all kind of find out that they're after Thanos and what's going on. So now, our two teams of Guardians and the three have merged into Drax, Star-Lord, Mantis, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man on Titan. Meanwhile, we still have Thor, Rocket, and Groot with giant Peter Dinklage in the Dwarves Forge. And Earth has this massive team going to Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
So now, we're going to skip in a minute. Because we've skipped over Gamora being captured by Thanos this way. We already explained that happened.
Yeah.
So now we go there and get a little bit of their story. And how Gamora was taken as a child by Thanos. Now, Thanos invaded her planet. And was going to invade, going to wipe out half the population to make it better. Because his whole thing here, Thanos' thing, is that he's trying to save the universe because it's finite. The universe is finite. All the resources are finite. So they will run out eventually.
Thanos apparently does not understand green energy.
I don't think he understands that the universe is expanding. We'll eventually come back in and stuff. It's finite as far as we understand it. But I don't know if it's actually finite, to be fair. Because we don't know if the universe expanding, compressing, if it goes like a back and forth thing. We don't know.
It could be a cyclical universe. It's kind of hard to say from the inside. You have to be on the outside to really
Hypothesis. What are you going to do? But basically his whole thing is, I wipe out half of the universe, half the universe's population, there's more resources to go around. He's really doing the universe a favor. He's trying to save the universe.
What's scary is, in the real world, there are people that do believe that is the only way that humanity will survive, is by reducing the world's population, I think, by 2/3. But that is an actual theory that does exist in the real world. So this is not out of the realm of, that's insane and stupid. It is insane and stupid. But there are people that, in the real world that are actually trying to do that. So it has a grounding in.
Yeah, definitely. So his whole thing here is not he's trying to impress Death to get her to marry him, like in the comics. He is an ideologue. He believes that he is doing something righteous and correct. Yes, he is going to have to dirty his hands and wipe out half of the universe's population to make sure there's enough resources to go around for the universe to survive. And he's saving people. People are giving themselves up for a greater cause. And you know what? He's happy with that. And once he accomplishes it, he will be sitting down, watching the sunrise.
Yeah, he actually said,
as a fulfilled man.
You said you wanted to watch it was a sunrise or a sunset?
One of the two. I don't remember which.
It was a sunset.
On a better universe. Mm. And he would be able and he'd be content. He'd be happy. He'd be fulfilled. And part of that mission basically leads him to Gamora's planet. And you see her hiding with her mom, trying to survive while this attack's going on. We see her wandering around looking for her mom at one point. She's been separated. It just kind of skips ahead outside of people being shot and killed. And then, you see Gamora wandering around at some point trying to find her mom. And Thanos sees her and pulls her over and starts talking to her. Meanwhile, in the background, while he's talking to her about balance and everything, about his ideals, in the background, you see everybody getting lined up and a firing squad lining up. And the order's given, you hear the fire start, people start firing, and you see it happening. Gamora goes, turn, like, no, don't worry about that. And he's just it's like, here, you try balancing this blade. Trying to teach her what's going on, his thoughts and his ideals.
This is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
If it tips one way to one side, and he tips his finger, it falls off. You tip it away to the other side, and again it falls off.
Yeah,
the trick is balance.
And that's his philosophy. He's teaching her his philosophy. And usually popular tonight.
Usually, yeah.
It is a Saturday. It's usually a raid night, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've canceled the raid for now.
Spoiler territory into what Faye does on Saturday nights. Raids on WoW.
Because I'm not a loser at all.
No.
It's because I don't have nice boobs yet. Don't I need clubbing on the weekends?
Clubbing boring. Anyway,
not much.
Back to focusing. So we have Gamora in the throne room with Thanos discussing things. Her hatred of him and what he turned her into. He's like, and I turned you into one of the most fiercest warriors in the universe. And it says, follow me. Guides her through to where Nebula is being held. In midair. In pieces. Like, you see her kind of like, you look at her from the front here, like, she's all like, say like this, frozen. You go around the side, the camera starts painting, you see she's segmented fucking off. She's still kind of attached, but she's been segmented and stretched out. It's really creepy. Actually, it's body horror level shit.
Actually, yeah.
There's no blood or anything, but this is a sentient person.
Yeah, it's still very much body horror.
Yeah. And he's like, I know you've been lying to me. You know what I want. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he squeezes his hand. And Nebula is screaming in pain and agony as she's being stretched out more. And energy sent through her body and just pain and suffering. And he goes, now I'll ask you again. Where is it? And he starts torturing her more and more. She goes, I don't know. I don't know where. It's like, where's the soul stone? I don't know where it is. It's like, you found it. It's not the fact. It's like not the fact you didn't find it and bring it back. It's that you found it and you lied. I'd never taught you to lie. So this is a shame. This is a father ashamed and disappointed in his daughter. In his mind. It's not that he betrayed her. It's that he lied. It's that she lied to him. Sorry. Not that she betrayed him, she lied to him. She's like, I didn't lie. I don't know where it is. I never had it. So he starts playing information from Nebula's memory in a hologram form out of her eye. Makes it talk about how she found the map to the Soul Stone and she burnt it so Thanos could never get to it. The thing is, you were never taught to lie. That's how I know you're so bad at it. So she finally gives in after she forces Nebula a little bit more to take him there. So now we go to the planet where it's being held. And they're walking through, just him and Gamora now, are walking through, and they encounter a shadowy figure that's the guardian of the Soul Stone, kind of. And it's like, I understand what you're here for. I know what you're here for. I know all that are going to come for the stone. But do you think you're strong enough to take it? Do you deserve it? The will to have it? This figure comes out of the dark into the light. And this cloaked figure is fucking Red Skull.
Well, apparently he's still alive.
That threw me. No, he's dead. Yeah, he was sitting back by the stones to guard the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
It was a cruel joke. I'll never be able to have what I'm guarding. It was a cruel fate that the stone put on him, as it were. But that one caught me off guard. I did not expect Red Skull. We haven't seen him since Captain America. Just you remember hearing it? Red Skull, really? Shit. Meanwhile, while they're down there talking to Red Skull, trying to get to the Soul Stone,
He gets worked up in movies.
I get worked up when things surprise me, and actually surprise me in a positive way. Not always in negative ways. Positive ways surprise me too in good ways.
I guess you get worked up in movies.
Yeah, I care. I invest myself in movies. So Nebula has managed to free herself by kind of tricking the guard that was there by popping her eye out like she's dismembering a little bit by accident. He goes to push back in. She's managed to break free enough to snap his neck and get herself free enough, and then pushes the eye back in. And she's trying to find a way off the ship and get where she needs to go to Titan, because she knows that's where Thanos is going to be. So back down on the planet where Thanos and Gamora have gone to find Soul Stone, Red Skull guides them there, giving his backstory how he ended up there, and then it's like, okay, it's like the Soul Stone's here. And there's this ledge. And it's like these pillars, and it's like altering that. And it's like, alright, now there's something you have to do before you can get the Soul Stone. There's a sacrifice, there's a toll to be paid. You have to give up something you love for the Soul Stone, a soul for a soul. Gamora starts laughing, because there's nothing he loves. Nothing. He cares only about himself. He turns to her, crying. Shows tears, really? And Skull looks at her and says, those tears are not for him. And she realizes they're for her. So she's like, knows what's going to happen. She quickly reaches for the dagger that she tried to use on him earlier. Takes it out, opens it, but goes to stab herself. It doesn't work, opens her hands, and it's basically just dust. Or something, like bubbles up or something like that. Or like diamonds. It's like rocks or something. It just kind of falls apart. He kept her from killing herself.
It's basically deatomized at any rate.
Yeah. And basically, she tries to resist. He grabs her, pulls her over, chucks her off the edge of this high precipice to her death. Gamora is dead. He gets to Soul Stone, has like this weird like energy beam shoot up into the sky. It opens up. He finds himself in this weird lake area on the planet somehow, and sits up, Soul Stone in hand, puts it in the gauntlet, and disappears to where he needs to go. And we're going to leave Thanos for a few minutes and go back to Wakanda, where our team is now showing up. And their thing is to get Siri, I believe her name was?
Shuri.
Siri.
Siri.
Was it Siri? I could have... Shuri. I think it's Shuri.
Shuri.
It's Shuri, isn't it? I'm bad. I'm trying to...
She definitely was not named after the AI from the iPhone.
Shut.
It's Shuri.
Shit. I don't remember, please. But I think it was Shuri. I'm bad at remembering names. I've tried to remember names. There's so many people.
It's T'Challa's sister.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't remember her name off the top of my head. Leave me alone. I couldn't remember.
Possibly forget.
I couldn't remember the pronunciation. Shut up. Can't help it. I'm white. I can't remember names well. I'm getting old. I can't remember shit. I have some timers. And with that joke. But
You're really proud of yourself for that joke too.
Nope, I take my jokes as they come. Straight. So they bring Vision in, and she's going over him and like talk about how they constructed him. Says, yeah, this is the only way we knew how to. It's the only way we figure out how to do it. I'm sure you did your best. She just talks down to Banner.
She's adorably condescending.
She is.
When it comes to matters of tech.
Yeah, she is. So the whole thing is they're going to try to remove and disconnect the Mind Stone from Vision's synapses and the circuitry in that. It's going to take a long time to do because it's all these little micro connectors. So it's going to take a long time. It's like, how long you got? As long as you can give me. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take, but give me as much time as you can.
I'm guessing it's attached to his neural pathway?
All of them, yeah. They all interconnect.
Yeah, they were saying something like it was...
There's a lot of things from Ultron and Stark and Banner and everything, all the different workings that went in. And as they're going to start this, Thanos' forces are landing. So all these people, including Bucky and Black Panther, and I'm forgetting her name, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, because they do have to do a scene where they go and they get the White Wolf, as they call him, and bring him a brand new Wakandan arm. I'm assuming it's
what?
It's
vibranium.
Yeah, vibranium is the...
Okoye and T'Challa join up with the team, and all the Wakandan warriors join up to defend Wakanda against Thanos' forces.
Mm-hmm. Including one of your favorites.
Yeah. M'Baku!
M'Baku.
I love M'Baku. I just love the guy. He was one of my favorite characters in that movie. I'm glad he came back. So, Thanos' leader woman, I can never remember her name, so I don't care anymore. Blackjaw woman.
Blackjaw woman.
Shows up, and it's like, you're going to load this field. We're going to come in. You're going to give up the stone. It's like, we have plenty of blood to spill. And they open their ship doors, and these weird, like, creatures, these abomination things come running out and rushing the force field around Wakanda, and are slowly breaking through and getting through by just burning their skin and everything on.
Multi-armed canid humanoids.
Something like that, yeah.
So they seem to be able to go to be up on...
Think Namu from My Hero Academia. You haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, I haven't gotten there
yet. But think of the Namu. Like that. They're similar to that. They're not completely indestructible, but they're pretty strong as far as dealing with those force fields. They die almost instantly, but they were managing to break through. But they're kind of like mindless beasts like that in the way they're designed. Except they like 4 to 6 arms, like 2 legs, and run like dogs weirdly. So we got this battle starting, and they decide to put down the fields a little bit because they're seeing that these things are starting to surround. Try to get around, and if something happens and the shields go down, they get in, they're going to get to Vision in the city. So
yeah, a few of them are able to break through entirely and continue the assault. So they become worried that if these creatures flank them and get behind them and start coming in, they'll basically break into the city from behind all of the army's defending line.
Yep. So they end up dropping part of a section of the force field to let them come bottleneck in that way. And the fight starts. And boy, is it a fun fight. You have Wakandan warriors and everything fight these abominations. Captain America's got these 2 shield arm things beating shit. You got fucking Bucky mowing things down with his fucking gun. Falcons flying through, shooting shit. War Machine's dropping bombs along the edge of the fucking pathway, blowing everything up. Fucking Black Widow is being Black Widow. Okoye is being awesome. M'Baku's beating the shit out of things. Black Panther is using his like force energy, force repulse tech, and like clawing at shit. Captain America are teaming up and fighting. Black Widow and Okoye are fighting together. It's awesome. Falcon and War Machine. It's fun. Meanwhile, Shuri and Scarlet Witch are up there with Vision trying to get this done, and things are getting worse. And these machines are getting into the city, or getting behind the walls and everything, and they're attacking, and shit's getting real. They met the one guy that got stabbed, the one general got stabbed in the movie, has snuck in, somehow. Has snuck in, I don't know.
They never explained how she got...
How he got through, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's in there. After Scarlet Witch comes out, she can't take him, or these machines are going to start killing them.
I guess it was the male one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So she's left. Once she leaves, it's like, she's no longer there. She's left him go, kind of thing. And this guy starts like beating up all the different warriors that are in there, protecting Shuri while she does her shit. and he basically just fucks him off. And like he's going to go after Shuri at this point and kill her. Vision knocks him out of the building. So now they're fighting out there. Scarlet Witch, along with, is trying to hold off the one leader chick. She gets knocked out for her troubles partially and about to get killed. Black Widow. These names and like everything, like colored names, they're throwing me off a little bit. Leave me alone. So Black Widow and Okoye are fighting leader chick, and they're holding their own. And she gets their asses knocked down. Is about to kill Black Widow. Scarlet Witch gets back up. There's a little hand thing, launches her up in the air while these like spinning blade machines are going through, and basically shreds her on it.
Yeah. Throws her into the ship,
Yeah.
the mining ship.
After she'd already picked up all 5 of these fucking things and launched them at the bad guys in one go. I love it because like, why was she up there the entire time? And like, I love that. She's like, why was she up there the entire time? Why was she down here fighting? Well, because she was protected, obviously. So we got this massive fight going. They're starting to have a bit of a hard time. They're getting overwhelmed. Banner is still not able to get the Hulk out. Banner is in the Hulk armor, the Hulkbuster armor. He keeps saying, Hulk, come out. And Hulk keeps on going, no, and refusing. It won't come out. We don't know why for sure, but Hulk, I'm assuming he's scared.
Yeah, I don't think Hulk has ever lost in a straight punching match like that. I think it basically broke
That
Hulk's
soundly.
confidence.
Yeah, it's that soundly. It's like I said, it's a whole thing for erectile dysfunction. It's a whole metaphor.
Is that what you got from it? I just saw his broken spirit.
He can't get his big green monster out. It up.
Okay.
It's what it kind of is.
Okay.
They kind of make jokes about it a little bit about it.
I didn't catch it, but okay.
Your innuendo's a little lost on you times, especially when it's of a sexual nature.
Yeah.
So, but maybe I'm just reading into it that way because it's kind of funny. But basically, big brute guys fighting Banner. Hulk will come and say, "Well, then, screw you, you big green asshole! I'll do it." I love that line.
He cusses out the
Hulk. Because a big green asshole. Yes.
The funny part is you can see he's getting visually angry and upset, but Hulk still refuses to come out no matter how enraged Banner gets.
Yeah. So Banner ends up defeating the big brute guy after he gets his one arm torn off from the Hulk armor. And then he ends up blocking the guy's weapon with the severed arm, and then says bye, and launches him with like the energy from the weapon's launch from the hand beam. Drags him across the fucking field, and it explodes.
They drag him back into the Wakandan force field.
Yeah, and he's like,
oh! Being dragged into the force field, and that shreds everything and causes it to explode.
It's great. So Banner's got a body count on that one of the main characters.
Yeah, Banner and not the Hulk.
Yeah, Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Beat a motherfucker. It took Hulkbuster, but he did it himself without the Hulk.
Yep, that kill is all Banner.
That is all Banner. I'm trying. So now Vision's fighting off the one guy. Scarlet Witch is coming over to try to help. Meanwhile, they're still losing at this point. They're getting overwhelmed and piled on. Rainbow energy beam bridge thing, whatever, straight through the beams into the center of the field. Here comes Thor, Rocket, and Groot to join the fight.
We never mentioned that Dinklage said that the Stormbreaker could summon the Bifrost.
Mm-hmm.
So this is established. Thor now has the power. Now has Heimdall's power and can summon the Bifrost to basically teleport between worlds.
Yep. And Thor's hammer is huge.
Yes.
Or his axe. I'm sorry, his axe. My bad. I'm used to the hammer. But like this thing is fucking huge, and he's Thunder God and shit up.
Oh yes.
Oh, it is beautiful to watch.
Arcs of lightning everywhere, his eyes glowing, and him just
everything kind of get dark around him as the energy pulses.
Very well.
That was great. And meanwhile on Titan, Thanos has showed up. Strange is sitting there. Before he'd shown up, though, all of them were sitting there talking, what are they going to do? Trying to come up with a plan to be smartasses at each other. Strange is sitting there with the time stone out, and you see him sitting there, like, concentrating, whatever, energy wrapped around his wrists, connecting to the thing, and him, like, and around his head, and him shaking around, looking all the place, really weird and twitchy. And he's like, comes out of it, like, what were you doing? He's like, I was looking at future timelines to see what course of action we could take to possibly come out on top of this. It's like, okay, how many timelines did you see? Oh, it's like 14 million and something. I forget the exact number. Over 14 million timelines. Okay, and how many of those did we win? Long dramatic pause. One. Only one. So Thanos shows up to see Strange sitting there. And they're going at it, talking about the ideals and the whole thing, showing what Titan looked like before, when the whole thing that kicked off Thanos, this whole kill half of all people in the universe, because he was doing the same thing with the people. Let's kill half of them at random, make it fair, and we can save the resources. Well, they didn't listen to me, and this is what's left. Nothing. I'm it, kind of.
Which to me is less a story, or less a failing with the universe, and more a failing with your society. It's kind of where I sit with human society too. If we can't figure out how to be good stewards and share our resources amongst all of us, we kind of deserve to go extinct.
Well, not only that, figure out how to renew them properly.
Aye.
Because there are ways to do it.
If we're too stubborn, too bullheaded to do it, then we deserve to go the way of the dodo.
So it's a cautionary tale.
Aye.
But it adds that last little bit of why he thinks the way he does. And that's all complete there. So Strange starts somehow like, we're not gonna let you do this. He goes, we? And Iron Man drops the part of his ship on him. Like, there you go, how was that? Oh, it was a great plan if your plan was to piss him off. So now we've got Star-Lord shooting, Drax coming up trying to slice at him, Mantis doing things in the background, kind of. Spider-Man shooting webbing and punching him. Iron Man's blasting him and punching him. Doctor Strange is doing magic and shit at him, like magic whips and all this energy stuff. And they're like stumbling Thanos. Thanos is fighting back. It's a great fight. Everyone gets hits in, or at least gets some use.
Spider-Man.
Your favorite scene. You can tell this one.
You go ahead.
No. This was your favorite scene, and I agree. It's a great scene. But you seem to have that. You described this.
Doctor Strange starts opening up portals and allowing Spider-Man to jump through them. So Spider-Man keeps jumping through portals to hit Thanos. Each time he goes, a kick, another kick, a magic kick. Was it kick with magic?
I think it was magic.
Yeah, magic, and he kicks him. More magic. Magic with a kick. He goes through and kicks him, just teleporting around.
Yeah. What was really good about this fight was seeing the powers used together.
It's a fantastic Peter Parker moment, because everyone knows, Parker likes to talk shit.
He does.
That's why he and Deadpool work
Him and Quill were good together with the references.
Oh, yeah.
Pop culture references.
Yeah.
Like Flash. Yeah, like Flash is still a great movie of all time. Never was. Oh.
No, it was,
oh, God.
It was Footloose.
Yeah, Footloose, my bad.
Footloose, the greatest movie of all time. It never was. that look of pain. Just,
like, oh.
Especially because he's bragging about the dance-off.
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't. Drax.
Yeah, Drax
bragged about it.
Tell him about the dance-off.
But what I liked about this fight, and a lot of the other fights, but this fight especially, was these are more powerful people with different, strengths and abilities, weapons and stuff. And, the way they synergized was so good.
It was.
It really was. I like the whole thing, here comes fucking Star-Lord, flying over, clamps a bomb on Thanos' back as he flips over and lands, drops his mask, makes a face, flips him off, goes through a portal.
Yeah, back flips into a portal.
So much good shit. Trying to keep him from closing his fist to shift between the different stones. The way Thanos was fighting was really good, too, with these stones. It was an impressive fight.
Yes.
The effects were great. The cinematography was great. The character interactions were great. It was just great all around on this. I loved it. In the end, though, Thanos manages to overpower him. At one point, they almost got him. They managed to subdue his arms, pin him down, and get Mantis up there to try to put him to sleep and subdue him. He's fighting back, but they got him They're trying to get the glove off. Iron Man and Spider-Man are up. Drax has got his one leg. Strange has got his other arm wrapped down. Spider-Man's already...
Mantis at this point has him in a mind lock where she's got him kind of shutting down.
Yeah, and he's fighting it still. And Star-Lord's going like, where's Gamora? And this is out, and mind you, during this fight, Nebula's shown up. So Nebula's here now. And he's trying to kind of respond a little bit, and Mantis goes, he feels pain, regret, and anguish.
Remorse.
No,
mourning, I think.
Mourning. It was mourning. And it's like, what are you talking about? He goes, he went with Gamora to get the Soul Stone. The stone's here, and she's not. You didn't. Because I had to. No, you didn't. And Stark's like, sees this happening, knows it's about that. It's like, don't do it. Don't. Like, just keep calm. Don't. You'll bring him out of it. Don't interact with them. Don't. What was it? Don't
interact with him.
It was something else.
Don't engage him.
Don't engage him. Don't engage him. So, yeah, Star-Lord's pissed. Starts punching with the guns, knocking him out. And
hits one of Mantis's hands.
Well, that causes Mantis to lose her grip.
Yeah.
I don't know if he hit her hand, but it causes her
It looks to me like he smacked, like he missed to hit her hand and something that caused her to jump.
And which caused Sid to come out of it. They almost got the glove off. Last second, he grips it, breaks free, beats the shit out of everybody. Basically, everyone's down for the count at this point. Brings down a fucking moon on them.
Like, shatters at least the outer layer of the moon and just brings the debris in as a meteor shower.
It was fucking Meteor from Final Fantasy.
Pretty much, yes.
Everyone's getting beat up by it, pretty much. Spider-Man's saving people, webbing them up and everything, trying to protect them. I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's names.
Yeah.
I don't remember everybody's names. That was good.
I love the bit where he tries to introduce himself to the cloak, and the cloak just kind of almost shrugs him and turns and walks away.
Yeah. Well, that's backtracking.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's still funny. We haven't officially met before. The cloak's just like,
what the hell?
goes away.
I'm a cloak. So yeah, basically Iron Man gets the shit beat out by these meteors, comes back, and him and Thanos are going one-on-one now. And after all this, a little bit of blood. He goes, all that for a single drop of blood. And then basically beats the shit out of Iron Man. Breaks off, Iron Man forms a blade on his one arm, goes to stab him. Thanos catches it, breaks it, and stabs Tony. And at this point, I'm like, oh shit, Iron Man's gonna die. As we've already seen, Loki, Heimdall, and Gamora killed. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it's got the stab going, getting ready to go for the final blow. Strange's like, stop. Don't. Spare him. Spare his life. And I'll give you the time stone. No tricks. Because he already shattered the thing.
The fake one he had
Yeah,
around his...
because they'd been protected in there by magic, but they destroyed it and there was nothing in it. He'd already hidden it. It's like, no tricks. No tricks. Pulls it out thin air out some like alternate side dimension thing.
That must be a pocket dimension.
Yeah, he does. They can do that. And Doctor Strange uses it.
Okay, makes sense.
It's good shit.
It's like a bag of holding. It's like I conjure it with my mind.
Kind of. And then sends it over. Thanos puts it in. Spares Stark. And leaves.
True to his word, actually.
Yep. But here's the funny thing. Earlier in the movie, before the ship crashed and trying to decide where to go, Strange specifically says, if it comes down between saving you, saving the boy, or protecting the stone, I'm protecting the stone. Whether you two die or not means nothing. The stone's the important thing, because this is the fate of the universe, and your lives are not equitable.
Now, admittedly, this is before he goes through his. That was before he goes through his bit where he lists the 4 million, which means that the 14 million, which means that Stark is important to the one time they won.
At least, because that's the only reason there's no way he would have given up that stone otherwise.
Right.
So that's the hypothesis we're going with. That he did this knowing something. You can't say something because that'll affect timelines. You can't tell somebody what's going to happen because then they'll be conscious of it. And it could fuck it up. You got to let it happen. And he goes, this was the only way. You know. It was the only way that we had a chance. It was the only chance we had. Something like that. I forget the exact line. After Thanos is gone. So Thanos shows up, and Wakanda. Vision's hurt at this point. He's been mostly beaten up by the one last guard guy. And,
yeah, he keeps getting stabbed by that guy, and apparently it's really hard to recover from that.
Yeah, I forget who kills him this time. Was it Vision?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But the guy gets killed. And he keeps asking Scarlet Witch. He's like, look, we have no other choice. You need to do it. He's coming. They can feel it. Like, everyone feels him coming. Everything's just like, still in the air. Bit of blowing. Like, once it's still there, it's like, everything's on to stop, but the wind's still blowing. Like, you can just feel shit's about to get real. That's the effect you get. So yeah, here comes Thanos. He starts busting through everybody. Scarlet Witch finally gives in, and using her energy, starts building it up. Meanwhile, Thanos is going through everyone, crushing War Machine in his armor, tossing him aside, bouncing Bucky around like a bitch. Captain America, nothing. Punched out. No one's able to stop him. He melts melts Banner inside the fucking Buster armor into the wall of stone.
Yeah.
Weird. So he gets up to Scarlet Witch, who's still trying to build the energy to destroy it. She's getting stronger and stronger. So now she's on Thanos with 5 of the 6 stones with her energy while still pouring the energy into the Mind Stone. Finally shatters it, destroying Vision. And Thanos goes, I understand. I know. I too have made sacrifices this day.
Yeah, because she starts breaking down at that point.
Yeah, it's like, but I have sacrificed more than you. Holds up the gauntlet, activates the Time Stone, turns back time to reform Vision from the explosion. Before the stone had been destroyed, goes up, grabs the stone, and is doing everything he can, crushes the front of his skull, and pulls out the stone. Vision's dead. Again. So Vision's died twice.
Yeah. Vision got exploded and then had his
soul pulled
ripped
away,
out.
as it were. And then puts it in the gauntlet. All 6 are there. Thor shows up. Stormbreaker through the chest, or into the chest. And as I told you, I'd kill you for this. That you'd die for this. Time over, he killed Loki. And Thanos is there gasping. You should have gone for the head. Gauntlet up. Snaps his fingers. Flash of white light. He's suddenly taken to this weird water landscape with these weird kind of like Japanese-looking gateway tower-looking thing, or not tower, like cover canopy-looking thing.
Yeah, it almost seemed like
it's from Gamora's planet.
It seemed like a fusion between a Japanese-style pagoda and
shelter, like a park shelter.
I was going to say more of a Greek temple with the columns.
Well, it's just a small little shelter. That's all.
Yeah, but that's still it's like a
kind
fusion
of
of those two architectures.
Yeah, and he goes up and talking to, and there's this kid version of Gamora. So did you do it? Yes. Was it worth? It's like, was it worth the cost? I think it was something like that.
What did it cost you?
And he's like, everything. And they both stand there looking at each other in tears. Come back. The gauntlet is fucking fried. Stones are fine. Glove. Poof.
Yeah, the glove is destroyed.
And Thanos, and you look at Thor and look at Thanos. What did you do? What did you do, Thanos? Looking around, still in pain, puts himself through a portal. Fucks off. So Thor's like, what the hell? And Cap's like, what happened? What happened? Turn around and you see Bucky walking up. He starts fading into dust. Falls over, turns to dust completely. Bucky's dead. Thanos has succeeded. And many people start dying and turning, like, fading away into dust, including T'Challa. T'Challa. Sorry, T'Challa
was his father.
It's the similar names. It throws me off once in a while. I'm confused. T'Challa and T'Challa. But Black Panther, dead as he's reaching out to Okoye. We also lost.
She does not take that well at all.
No, she's in shock. Who else went from that group? Groot.
Yeah, Groot.
Groot's gone. He fades. A lot of the men and women from the tribes.
Scarlet Witch fades.
Scarlet Witch fades away.
Did Black Widow?
No.
Okay.
Scarlet Witch fades away. We go over to Titan. We lose Drax, and then we lose Mantis, and we lose Star-Lord. Then Peter starts feeling weird. Klaus is like, I don't want to go. Just no. So he's freaking out, and Spider-Man fades. Spider-Man's dead. Doctor Strange. It's like, there was no only way. It's like, there's no other way, and then fades. So Strange is dead. Nebula and Iron Man are the only one left on that team. On the other team, Thor, Bruce Banner, Captain America, Falcon, War Machine, Okoye, M'Baku. And I'm guessing Shuri.
I thought Falcon went down too.
No, Falcon still made it, if I remember correctly.
I thought someone flying in one of the machines started to fade, and you just saw the suit kind of crash and explode.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe Falcon did go?
Yeah, I think Falcon went.
I'm forgetting. I know War Machine did. But I think maybe Falcon did go. Okay, I think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah, somebody that was flying something I know started to fade, and then you just saw kind of the thing crash against the Wakandan force field and explode.
No, that was just the ships. The ships.
Yeah.
So I guess Falcon might have gone too. I don't remember. So many people were going.
A lot of
So many people
all
died.
at once.
Yeah. And so basically, everything's gone to shit. And we cut to Thanos. Walking, like, in this sheltered area. Like, this, like, little shack area, walking through. Fucked up glove. Walks over the edge in this mountainous area. Where a sun is, I believe, setting.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits down there. Deep breath. Smiles. End of movie. The movie ends with Thanos victorious.
Yes. Thanos victorious, and half of the good guys, including some...
Half of all the universe population gone.
Mm.
And the heroes completely out for the count.
Completely...
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, all but one are dead.
all but Rocket.
The original 5 Avengers are alive. Some of the side ones are alive. Some of the newest characters are gone.
Mm.
And Thanos is sitting there content.
He has done his mission.
Now we go to the after credit scene, which there is one. And Nick Fury and his number one in command, his lieutenant or whatever, I forget her name, are driving. All of a sudden, a car kind of just crashes in front of them, gets out. Like, what the hell happened? And this all took place like right before Thanos. Like, right as Thanos was doing his thing, mind you. That's the time frame we're given.
Or directly after, because it seems there was a minute or two delay when he stopped his fingers and then pieced out. And then everyone started.
Time, relative, internal thing. We don't know how long.
True.
It might have been instantaneous, like flash and death. But just to him, it took longer.
Yes.
Time is relative in that kind of concept, I guess. But yeah, so they get out to go check on the vehicle. It's like, are they okay? No one's in there. No one's in the driver's seat. It's like, okay, I guess. And like people start to freak out. Helicopter crashing into a building. People freaking out. You know, okay. Calling a code red. Tells his lieutenant. Looks over and she's like, "Sir," or Nick, and she starts fading into the dust. So she's going. He freaks out. He's going in. He's looking for things. People are starting to fade around him. Fury gets his little communicator thing out. Goes over and starts putting in the thing he needs to. And he goes. He looks at his hand, starts fading away. And he goes, "Oh, motherfucker!" And it cuts off. Because, of course, it's not
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson. Go on now.
Yeah. We didn't get it. We almost did. Just like the end of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But he's activated his little code red, his little device to code red. It drops to the ground, and we see sending, and then some dots. And as it closes in, Captain Marvel's symbol shows up, and like the blue and red of her outfit design for chest area shows up on the screen, hinting that Captain Marvel will be in Avengers 4. And that's where we're at. Wow, a lot of shit there. I know this is long. I don't know how long it's been going. I might cut out some of this stuff because we talked about all the big points in this movie. All the team ups, all how like people come together, split apart, come back together. This movie had a body count.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Half the universe is worth.
Well, just the main characters. Oh.
Yeah.
Stanley cameo for a light moment for just a minute. Basically, he's Peter's bus driver. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Look, it's a spaceship!"
And your kids like you've never seen a spaceship before. Which makes sense because in the context of this universe, how many freaking times have spaceships come to attack Earth by this point?
Avengers 1. The first Avengers movie had aliens attacking, so...
Yeah. They were pretty widespread.
Yeah, Thor.
That I have to admit that half of the ships and half, look like, or half of the planes and stuff in this movie look like spaceships anyway.
Yeah. I think these are the same ships,
especially the Wakanda design.
These are the same ships from the first movie.
Were they?
Yeah, it was Thanos' forces from the first movie. Were these same forces?
Okay.
But yeah, wow, this movie. So much. I was me and Faye were talking, and she agreed with me. We were kind of surprised that none of the original 5 died.
Yeah.
Because Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, and God, who am I forgetting? Iron Man. All 5 survived.
Interestingly, there are a few characters that we don't know if they survived or not. We have no idea if Pepper's still alive, and if she died because of Thanos. Holy crap, is that going to wreck Tony?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know
Hawkeye.
We don't know Hawkeye. We don't know Ant-Man. And we don't know the Wasp.
She hasn't been introduced yet, technically, but she might have by the time the next movie comes out. Because Ant-Man and Wasp, I think, take place before this event, obviously. Because it's a weird timeline thing, going backwards to reconnect them to the next movie, I think.
Right.
So we don't know their fate yet in this. Same thing with Pym, which is, her dad. And the guy who created all the suits. Captain Marvel is obviously alive. That's why he's calling her this. As far as we know, she'll be in the next movie.
It would be a bit of a waste to be like, "Hey, we called you," and you flip over to her at the very beginning of the next movie, and
Yeah, let's hope they don't do that shit. They can't. If they're hitting her like that, that's not happening.
no, yeah, obviously,
Yeah, but it'll still be funny. But yeah, here's the reason we're saying that this movie isn't exactly for kids. Like all that death.
yeah. Well,
It's also hinted that the collector's dead too. Because that was an illusion, and like nowhere was in flames and destroyed, kind of. So yeah, it's in ruin. So yeah, the collector's dead probably. That's another character. Yeah, it's another character dead.
Just because in the movie theater we were in, when Spider-Man died, I remember hearing a child behind me actually crying out, "No, Spider-Man!" And so since Spider-Man's a beloved character, especially with children, that's going to hit kids hard.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Because it definitely affected this child.
Yeah.
In the theater with us right there.
I was surprised Black Panther got axed.
I was too. It seems like a waste. Yeah.
I said like Okoye would be the one to have gone.
Yeah, I could have seen them getting rid of her instead of him to keep him around. Unless they're planning on building Okoye up to be.
I don't know if
because she is a badass in her own right.
She is. I don't know if she ever became like in the stories she was an Avenger or something. I don't think she was, or she became like a super in her own right, or she's just like that. Or she's a movie on the character even. I don't know.
Yeah, I could totally believe her as her own independent.
Yeah, it's just I think they're just trying to shake up the status without getting too much of the status quo. But Black Panther's not much of a status quo at this point. He's had a partial appearance in Civil War because he was there for part of the movie. He was part of the action, and then have one movie focused on him as a character,
which admittedly was badass.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like just getting rid of him now. Seems weird.
It does, yeah.
The fact they got rid of Spider-Man, like you said, wow. Because they fought so hard to finally get him the fuck in, now he's gone.
Yeah.
After a partial appearance, a cameo, as it were, in Civil War, and then in a movie to himself, and then this one.
Something is up with it. I don't believe...
Well, they'll find a way to reverse time, I'm sure.
Exactly. I don't believe these people are actually dead.
No, they are dead now. Now. I'm sure there'll be something happen later where there's going to be sacrifices made. Some characters won't be the same or won't be able to come back or something. I don't know. They'll find some way to reverse it, but not completely, because they're not going to go back to a complete status quo. They're going to, if anything, the MCU has gone through with making changes with characters throughout. Characters dying and being dead. I mean, Odin's dead. He was killed, I guess, sometime in the last movie or so. Who else has died in these movies? I mean, bad guys have died. Not many of the good guy characters died. But this one, they sure as hell did. To be honest, I was really surprised. I think if any of the year's 5 could have gone in this instead of one of the other newer characters, Widow.
Widow could have gone.
Because she's kind of superfluous in this. She has no main plot connection going, except maybe her thing with Bruce Banner from second Avengers movie, because they had a weird thing, kind of romance thing.
Which really didn't go anywhere in this movie either. I feel like she was probably the least used out of anybody in the movie.
She had a purpose as far as fighting, but nothing beyond that.
Right.
She could have been written out for
pretty
a while
well
into the next movie.
Yeah.
And we could have kept, I don't know, Star-Lord?
Drax. I definitely feel like Star-Lord should have stayed. Because he's now got some serious Thanos,
Yeah, that's another thing. Like getting rid of Scarlet Witch was a bad choice too, I think. Because here's the thing: imagine her. She has just killed the man she loves, whether he's a robot or not. He's highly complex. He's a being. She had to kill him, have him brought back, and watch him killed again, and her not able to do shit.
Yeah, I feel like she should have stayed for the next
There would
movie
have been so much pathos to deal with there, and it's wasted.
Is it pathos or pathos?
Tomato, tomato. I don't know. Pathos, pathos.
I've always heard.
I think it's a dialect.
It could be.
And thing, and language barriers. British American.
And I do consume an astonishing amount of British media.
Yeah, it's either or. I've heard both. And same thing with Star-Lord, because now Gamora and everything, him not dealing with everything, him hesitating like he did, cost her in the end anyway. And he still lost her. And now he's dead. Nothing to come out of that. Spider-Man could have come more into his own if he had stayed around.
Well, Spider-Man's just a fun character to play with anyway.
Strange going was a bad idea, I think.
That's where I believe there's a plan.
There is a plan.
He knows something from the other side.
Yeah, this is our hypothesizing on this one.
Yeah, I'm completely
pulling film theory.
I'm completely pulling this out of the blue. But if I had to guess in the next movie, the people who died, the other half of the universe, maybe isn't exactly dead, but is instead either in a parallel universe.
No, I think they're dead. It's just that they'll finally bring them back.
There's something going on, though. I feel like
there'll be a way to reverse it.
I don't know much about Doctor Strange, but I feel like he's got a plan for this.
No, he probably just seen the outcome, and he's letting it go its course. He's helped it to the right course, as it were. Giving up the stone. The only thing they didn't want to do, give up the stone. The one thing he wouldn't do, give up the stone, would lead to the right path. That's why I think it's going to be the course of the next movie, is where that leads. I just feel like maybe some of the combinations weren't right. If you're back, spoiler stuff's pretty much done. Overall, great movie.
Yep.
Was it as good as Black Panther?
In my estimation, no.
You have a different. Your reasoning is because you're missing a lot of information.
I'm missing quite a lot of information, but I also feel like
as a movie itself, in and of itself.
Right, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as Black Panther, and remember, I went to Black Panther with zero information on the character or the setting or any of that.
Yeah.
So, I went to this one more or less blind, went to the other one more or less blind. Black Panther stood on its own as its own movie, way, way stronger than this movie. This movie reminded me that I have not seen the other ones, and that I'm missing parts of it. I also felt like, in some places, it drug on a little longer than it needed to.
See, I didn't feel it dragged. Again, the pacing issues, just like bashing your head against the wall.
Right.
Here and there.
I feel like the only thing this movie really suffers from is that there's just
a lot.
Too many elements all being mixed into the pot at once.
Yeah, the first part of this movie was basically just table setting.
Right.
In a lot of ways, which is why you're like the way we kept talking about going here. We were trying to parse this together in a more coherent way than it did in a lot of ways, because they're trying to do things, as most movies, sequentially as most movies do. This is happening here, but this is also happening here. So you have to go from here to here to get to the next parts in the line.
Which
that's
is fine when you have to do it that way, but it does make for a more disjointed feeling story. So you kind of are stuck with the way the script worked there. And I'm not going to say it's a bad movie at all, but I do still feel like Black Panther was better.
Yeah. Now, here's something you brought up earlier. You made a comparison. To a certain movie you wanted to stop talking about.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the comparison was, though.
The pacing.
Oh, the pacing?
Writing, the way things kind of put together.
I do feel that having a disjointed split storyline, the way they did it in Infinity War, worked a lot better than the way they tried to do it in The Last Jedi. And I swear to God, this is the last time I'm talking about that movie in a review. I'm done with it. The horse is dead. We can stop beating it. It's time to bury it or eat it. Eat the horse.
No, I want to turn the fucker into glue. I gotta have a little more talk about this. This is how you do the right kind of storytelling.
I just wanted to say eat the horse.
No, that's weird. Horse meat's a little stringy, I heard. A little tough and stringy. But no.
Why is it taboo to eat in America? I don't understand the taboo.
We all have our lines. It's like eating cats and dogs.
I'd eat a cat. Or a dog.
No, if you had to, yes.
Well, no. If you put it on a table in front of me and said, this is cat meat, and I had a bite, and I like the taste of cat meat, I'd be like, cool, give me another second helping of Garfield.
Well, here's the good thing. You have your own little set right here to go with. But no, here's the thing. she's right. The pacing here was better in the way they sequentially told the story. While they did work on different places, you felt like they were happening at the same damn time. Whereas Last Jedi did not.
No.
It's like they skipped here, but they had to jump back here, way back, and skip up, and then had to skip back here and jump things up, and then things had to skip back while we're going here. It made no damn sense. Time was so askew in that. In this one, the timing felt parallel.
Yeah,
It
it
didn't
gets a
feel
little
disjointed.
confusing in a few places, and we hit on that in the spoiler section where you and I were like, wait, did that happen now? But by and large, you got the feeling for the flow of when events happened.
You understand that these are all kind of going like this, even if we're just like moving these little pieces here and there, but they never felt like so disjointed. It's like, okay, this stuff is happening at the same time. I can understand that. I can wrap my mind around that they're happening simultaneously, or just seeing them in a certain order. Whereas Last Jedi, this happened within like a month time frame maybe, but this took place within days, but it should have taken months, but this happened here, and you can't get around it, and then the fucking Casino Planet shit is terrible, and I don't want it to happen. It was terrible storytelling. This was way better.
Yes.
Way better. And they had way more characters to deal with.
Way
and
more
they
plot.
balanced it. Yeah. That too! They had plot. And it wasn't a slow fucking car chase plot. This had character development, not backsliding. It had stakes that made sense. The jokes did not overshadow the darker moments.
We pissed him off over Last Jedi again.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk shit on Last Jedi more and talk about a good movie. This is a good movie. You know, and I will beat a bad movie's dead horse until the cows come home, and then I'll beat the cow.
No, but cows are like...
Because otherwise, because I never stop talking about how much I fucking hate Meet the Spartans.
I never saw it.
Don't ever see it. It's shit. It's worse than Last Jedi.
Good, don't be a cow. They're like giant, like field dogs.
That's their fault. You would eat a cat. I'll beat a dog. There you go. I'll beat the cow dogs.
Field dog.
Whatever. They still make hamburgers. I'll have something later.
They're kind creatures.
I eat Taco Bell. They have beef.
They're kind creatures until they've been served at Taco Bell. Then they're vengeful wrath gods.
No, then they're good. Tasty.
Ugh. See, that's my lower intestine. Anyway.
But no, it's just... I like seeing competent movies. This was a competent movie. A very competent one. And I agree, it wasn't as good as Black Panther. I thought the disjointed pacing hurts it.
It does.
But it was just a byproduct of what they had to do.
Yeah, there really isn't much of another way of doing this movie.
No. So I don't fault them.
No, they did the best they could with what they have. It just...
The writing and the directing were good. With what they had to work with, 10 years of storytelling, they did everything they could to touch the main notes while some other things were tied in there.
It definitely felt satisfying when things happened, when storylines began wrapping up.
Whether through jokes or exposition, in a serious moment, things were tied up and connected. Things from Ragnarok, things from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, things from 1, things from Iron Man, things from Thor, all of it connected.
That's another thing I'd like to say, is we criticized The Last Jedi because the tone shifts were very jerky.
Yes.
This had a lot of the same elements and tone shifts, but they were better spaced out so they didn't feel as...
And it's not, even if they weren't spaced out and they were sharing similar areas, like the more darker aspects of the fight with Thanos and the fucking magic kick. It was handled well.
Right.
It was melded better. It was puzzle pieces that fit.
It didn't feel...
It was a square peg into a square hole.
It didn't feel as hackneyed and hamstrung.
God, it didn't. Like, I can look at a corner and joke, okay, that's kind of corny. Okay, that was kind of stupid. But I laughed. I laughed in this movie way more than I did Last Jedi at their jokes. And I cared more about the stakes in this movie than I did Last Jedi. I cared when the characters died in this movie more than I did in Last Jedi. And I was shocked more. I was pleasantly surprised and shocked. And here's the thing. Here's the biggest fucking thing that this movie has over Last Jedi. When they threatened to kill a character most of the time, they committed to it. They didn't get this Leia cop-out bullshit. where she escaped death by some magical means. Gamora was... Gamora was... But no, so Gamora's mother dies. She's dead. They show her, scared for her life. Where's my mommy? I'm going to ruin this whole thing. We know Gamora's mom's dead already from the previous movies. I'm not ruining here. But with Gamora, you see her development from her mother's death and how Thanos, changed her life for the worst. They committed to this from previous movies to now. They committed to the death of Star-Lord's mom.
Getting the angry, shaky finger now.
Like the death of Star-Lord's mom. They committed to that. And they embellished on it. And the way it affects him. Leia's sacrifice had no meaning because she wasn't sacrificed. But people acted like she was in a way.
It's no sucker that's sent in the Force.
Don't get me started on that. But I mean, this is what I mean. What I mean is the MCU, when it goes into killing characters, side characters, main characters, whatever, they committed. The Force Awakens committed. Last Jedi never really committed. Even when what happened with Long Enough, Luke died. When Luke died. When that happened, did they commit? Yeah. But the way he went out, while fine, it felt like an excuse. It felt half-hearted. And it did not have the gravitas behind it, I don't think.
That's how I put it. It lacked the gravitas.
Now, you look at Star Wars' mom, her death, how it affects him, and especially its connection to the second movie. It had weight. I cared, and that character had little to no time on screen by comparison to Leia and Last Jedi.
And I will say, deaths in this movie definitely carried weight. You
Boy,
definitely
did they.
felt something.
Yeah, even the flashback character deaths mattered. You felt bad.
You saw characters affected by it in a way that sadly just wasn't there for Star Wars.
No, and not for Last Jedi. At least for other Star Wars, yeah. But for the last one, no. But for Infinity War, it had balls. It had the testosterone-driven fortitude, the testicular fortitude, and the ovarian audacity to go in and say, fuck you, no one's safe. And they stood by that. And you know I'm right.
Ovarian audacity?
I didn't have another O word.
You're trying.
That's right. Remember, I'm effervescent.
This is the effervescent guy.
Yeah, I'm effervescent. Callbacks. See, we do callbacks in our reviews, much like the MCU does in its movies. It all comes around. But the point is, I respect this movie. And I don't respect Last Jedi. And I've given all the information why in the spoiler section. As to why I care more about this than I do Last Jedi. Why this will get my money in the future when it releases, and Last Jedi won't.
I could totally own this movie as well. I'm not...
Yes.
I'm not big into superheroes, that kind of thing, but I will say the Marvel Cinematic Universe has really impressed me. And has actually got me interested to the point that I actually have been going back and doing a bit of... I'll watch things like the Comic Story and on YouTube and get some of the back information I don't know about certain characters. Because the movie's interested me enough to get me into...
It humanizes these characters so well. We have Thor dealing with some of the fallout from the last movie. And other things that happen in this movie. Just how it's affected him. You see Bruce Banner dealing with stuff from fallout from past movies. You see things with Vision and Scarlet Witch. You see things with, again, Gamora. Things with, even with Thanos.
I hate to admit it, but you said Bruce Banner and Fallout in the same sentence, and now I kind of want to see the Hulk fight Deathclaw.
That would be awesome. And have him come and have Bruce Banner actually in like the fucking like Steel the Steel Brotherhood armor.
Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, sorry, Brotherhood of Steel. But
have the Hulk. Have
say have Bruce Banner that then it's like fuck this, I'm coming out and hulking or hulking out of the suit.
All right, if he hawks out of the suit, he has to look like he's wearing Raider armor. That or like the
Exactly!
patchwork.
It's like fucking Planet Hulk shit. Oh, yeah.
That could be good. That could be fun.
Modders, get on it.
So somebody's already done it. Come on now.
I don't know, maybe.
The Hulk and Fallout.
God, yeah.
It has to exist already.
But yeah, this was definitely a movie worthy of my time, worthy of my money, and worthy of my praise.
I do not regret having sat through over 2.5 hours watching this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. It didn't feel like that long. Last Jedi dragged. I hated it.
Last Jedi, there was a point in it where there were a few points in it in which I kind of felt like, okay, can we move along?
Cantabite. This, I never felt that.
No.
I enjoyed my time in Wakanda. I enjoyed my time, excuse me, where Thanos lives, on our time in the different locales throughout this movie. I cared, and they were interesting and visually appealing. It wasn't just a couple of spaceships and like a planet or two. This had so many different sets, had so many different locations, and it took its time as much as it could. And it gave itself a lot of time too. And even then, it wasn't enough time.
No,
this was a Lord of the Rings length kind of movie.
And I feel like there's enough that this could have been 2 movies on its own.
Yeah, it kind of could have been, but I'm frankly happy they're not stretching this out more than 2 movies.
Yeah. I'm glad
Giving it the Harry Potter 7 treatment, it's fine. I'm fine with that. But I view this as one of Marvel's best movies.
It's up there.
Yes. Not my favorite still.
Of the few I've seen, it's up there. I'm still going to put Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy over Infinity War.
Same here.
But
I don't know if I'm trying to think of how I compare this with Civil War, though.
I never saw Civil War, so for me, this is starting,
But that was a heavy movie, too. That had a lot of heavy moments, too, especially with the way it splits the Avengers. And the way it causes this.
I need to see it because I feel like I missed entirely too much. But
you missed a lot. You missed Ant-Man and Spider-Man. At odds.
Well, I never saw Ant-Man's movie or Spider-Man's movie.
No, this took place before.
Well, yeah, I know they're connected to it, but I haven't seen those 2 movies.
Yeah, but you've seen Spider-Man fighting in this. Now imagine him fighting a guy that can grow big. Story's big. And really small, exactly. Yeah, I think we were going to start wrapping this up. Overall, I would give this 4 out of 5.
I was thinking 4 as well.
It doesn't reach that near perfect cusp like Black Panther does.
Right.
It doesn't reach it in that creativity level, I think, that something like Guardians does, or even Doctor Strange.
It's a good movie. Definitely see it. But
yes, it's still one. I think it's in the top 5.
Yeah, I can't give it a 5 out of 5 though.
If I had to right now put my top 5s: Guardians, Black Panther, this one and Civil War, be trading between 3 and 4, and Doctor Strange. For their creativity, for their sheer gumption, for what they're trying to go for with a lot of these movies, for the stories they're trying to tell, for the humanizing and the humanity, and the level of threat and the sacrifice made in each of these movies. And it's just, they're good. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. Go see it. Recommend it. If you really want to avoid spoilers, see it ASAP. Because you're gonna have.
Because it's gonna get this movie. I can already tell it's gonna be very memeable. It's gonna be everywhere. See it soon rather than see it later.
Much like Titus O'Neil's slide at the Greatest Royal Rumble, things are gonna get around. Seriously, that was one of the best things I've seen in a while. Just
is that the thing you showed me? Where went under the ring?
Yeah, Titus O'Neil's running down the ramp. At the very bottom, his foot catches, he trips, and baseball slides face first underneath the ring. And almost completely goes under, and it has to wiggle out.
Poor guy, he's got to be embarrassed.
Yep, I'm gonna put it on screen. I'm putting it on screen. No, I'm putting it on screen. I am putting it on screen. Right now. Future me. Put it right here. That right there.
And if somehow Titus O'Neil sees this thing, I want you to know, I feel for you, bud.
Hey, no, he has been immortalized. He has been immortalized up there with the likes of the Shockmaster for greatest botch. One of the it was a simple, epic botch. It's not like when Sid Vicious jumped off the rope and broke his leg.
Right.
On live TV.
It's still embarrassing. He's got
It is, but it's innocent.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And the fact it was a historical moment anyway, because it was the first WWE event held in Saudi Arabia. Forever, that pay-per-view not only is moralized for that reason, but because of Titus O'Neil's epic faceplant.
Oh, I'm trying not to get political right now.
Yeah. It was one of the more positive things that we remembered for.
Yeah.
Not the fact that they wouldn't let women wrestle. Because of their laws there, they couldn't let women wrestle, and WWE said, okay. Which I don't blame WWE for.
No.
People that say that WWE's at fault for that. No, the people that blame WWE for not standing up and push more is like, they're an entertainment company.
Yeah, and you gotta tailor yourself to your audience.
They want to make money. They can only do so much. Why would you run at them to cause a fucking conflict? We have enough of those.
What are we reviewing now?
We're just talking shit.
Oh, okay.
It's because of the gift. By the way, whoever the woman was that does the WWE thing on YouTube, it's not GIF. It's GIF.
I'm not even going to touch that debate.
I am. Graphic. Good. You don't call them graphics. No.
I just the rage of the internet right now. I can feel it burning. It's happening, and I'm getting uncomfortable.
I don't give a shit. Anyway, good movie. Go see it. You've seen some cutting, I'm sure. We were just talking stupid shit. Go see the movie. It's good. I liked it. Thumbs up. So until then, I'm Sandros.
And I'm Faye.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Real to Real. Bye.
Peace.